Um, so yeah, let me do a quick shout out to my friend and amazing new streamer, Biz, if that works. Yay! Um, and yeah, without further ado, 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 and yeah, without There we go. Yeah, I opened up my own channel in one of my many open tabs, and forgot about it. So when I started streaming, that sound multiplied horrendously. So yeah, I've closed that down now. Let's hop into the game. Um, let's wait for. Yeah, there we go. Um, you hear me now, right, Biz? Cool. Um, so the last time we did some questing around Weathertop, um, in our efforts to figure out where Radagast was and where Aragorn and Frodo and his companions had gone, and even what happened to Gandalf. And we found out that Gandalf was at least shortly on Weathertop. Um, so, um, if we're looking at the story from the books from Lord of the Rings, that's just a few days after Aragorn and Frodo and his companions were attacked by the ring wraiths atop Weathertop. Um, and yeah, so we're probably going to see if we can um, find where we need to go next, how that story goes. Um, Let me quickly deactivate this quest because we don't need to see that one. Yeah, in the meantime, I did quite a few quests to level up, um, and I hope we can spend most of the afternoon just, exploring and having fun. Get that out of the way. So, yeah, here we are with Radagast. So,
Will
let's
you
just
help me?
hop in. The land itself is turning against us, and I know not the reason why. Even the shepherds are twisted shadows of their former selves. I speak of the bog prowlers, those that tend to the trees. If I can discern what is twisting the shepherds, I may be able to determine what is fouling the land. Bring me the moss that they use to line their nests. They roam the swamp to the east of here. Remember, I do not wish to harm the shepherds, no matter how confused they appear. They are innocent victims of the corruption and know not the harm they do. So, apparently, there are some sentient beings that tend to the trees which have fallen to corruption. Yeah, Biz. I know I saw your announcement. I think it's about 30 minutes from now-ish, right? You'll be streaming yourself? Just under an hour. Well, I hope you enjoyed the time you have here then. Dodge some of these. We figure out where we need to go. Who's this? I don't know, just someone tending the swamp, I guess? Well, if he wants to. Let's do some collecting and do it as peaceful as possible. You know, I don't like swamps. They remind me too much of the marshes that are just beyond the Black Gate. The Dead Marshes, where a great battle took place. I think it was the last alliance about 3,000 years ago in the lore, and I'm not sure, but we might go there ourselves at some point because it's, I think, just around here. Can I see it? Yeah. Not bad. Dang it. Sometimes it's hard to find the right place. There. These are the Dead Marshes just before the gates to Mordor. And considering that we can actually open the map, we will go there at some point. But yeah, these marshes where a great host of elves and men battled the forces of Sauron, the Dark Lord, and a great many died here, and they kind of remained there. Their spirits remained, this is a place full of spirits which you don't really want to be in. And that's why I don't like marshes very much. Also, generally speaking, I don't really like these types of fetch quests because they don't really add much to the story other than, you know, having to do this or that, which is also why I've decided to do all my side quests off screen, because they are to me just a collection of go here, patch that, and not very riveting gameplay, and definitely very uninteresting lore-wise. So let's hope the next quest kind of picks up on that. And I promise you it will get better. I have played this game up until a certain point before, and I really can't wait until we reach the Mines of Moria, where I definitely intend to spend a lot of time exploring the caves. Ooh, a little bit of lag there. And that's because Moria, or Khazad-dûm as it's called in the Dwarven tongue, is so incredibly important to the lore of the dwarves that I think we can stand to...
You have returned, I see.
Explore that a little bit more in depth. You did well. This moss will help me to understand how the evil is tainting the Red Swamp. This is but the first step in determining what caused the shepherds to become confused and irrational. There is more still to do, my friend. It will not be easy.
This reeks of death.
I can smell death in the moss, as if it was plucked from an ancient grave. This strength of decay and evil is not a thing from nature. I believe that the whites are to blame. Whites are the bones of the dead, stirred by fell spirits out of Angmar and Rudar. The wars here long ago made Harakmar as ripe for whites as the Barrow Downs in the west. Return to Harakmar, the swamp in the east, and destroy these foul creatures. If there are whites, I fear there are other fell creatures haunting the swamp as well. For now, though, you need only concern yourself with the whites. So... this place, while not specifically touched upon in The Lord of the Rings in the books, is a site of great conflict, and I'm not sure whether our main quest will lead us there, but I'll give at least a little bit of an overview. Is what we know of the forces of the West is located here in Gondor, as well as Rohan. And then we have the hobbits here and the dwarves over there. But in times gone past, this entire land was at some point managed by the forebears of the Gondorians. I am being attacked. 1 second, please. Thank you. And even had the main capital of the north here in Anuminas. Also, here in Angmar lived at least now one of the great lieutenants of Sauron, the Witch King. So there was much war between them. So it's not unthinkable that many battles would have taken place in this area. So yeah, that's why it's probable, just like the Dead Marshes, that the marshes here would become a fetid breeding pool for whites. And of course we cannot abide by these unnatural beings, so we'll dispatch of them as quickly as we can. Now, there are not many over here in this area, although there are some, as we can see. But most of them will be up in the ruins over there, which is likely to be an old fort of some sorts. Just like Weathertop at some point was a watchtower from which the men from the west, the Numenorians, could watch upon the Lich King. Although, come to think of it, I think I might be slightly wrong there, because if I remember correctly, one of the Palantiri was located in Weathertop, but instead of watching eastwards as a watching stone to make sure the people of the West were able to scry upon the dispositions of the enemy, I think the watching stone of Weathertop was attuned westwards to probably view if anything came out of the west. Sometimes I have to remind myself to watch chat, because especially when I get caught up in gameplay, I tend to forget. But luckily chat is a little bit quiet today. Although I say luckily, I think if chat would be a little bit more lively, I'd probably find myself having to watch more often. But that's okay. We live, we learn. Fun to kill. There we go. Quest complete. Let's quickly return back. Grab our loot. And while we wait, have a little bit to drink. I should remove the sound from my phone. Already done. Travel, travel, travel. You know, that is one thing that I am sorry. The weather is getting to me a little bit. Anyways, one of the things that is definitely on my personal bucket list is to learn how to ride a horse, because I've actually never done that, and I would really, really love to do that. You know what feeling it is?
You have returned, I see.
Yeah. Just a couple of days ago it was really, really warm outside, and suddenly I think autumn must have just absolutely kicked in because the temperature just plummeted. It's crazy. The White's destruction can only prove to help us in the time to come. Now listen, for there is much more to do. Yeah, I can imagine that, Biz. After all, we don't live that far apart in the grand scheme of things, I would say.
This is dire news.
The sheer number of Whites in Harakmar indicates the presence of Gaunt Men, vile necromancers who serve the Dark Lord. In ages past they dwelled in the witch realm of Angmar, but the White Council believed them all destroyed. Clearly, they were wrong. Only the strongest of the Gaunt Men, the Gaunt Lords, have the power to summon the spirits of the Shadow Realm. The War Singers carry the sigil of their Gaunt Lord. Search the ruins in the far east of Harakmar. Defeat these creatures and bring me their sigils. We must learn which Gaunt Lords these creatures serve. Oh! Fields of Mystery had an update. I certainly hope that it didn't corrupt your save file. Oh! You had me worried for a second there, Biz. Mild bug fixes. Yeah, that's good. I suppose that's the one good thing about playing an MMO like Lord of the Rings Online. I don't have to worry about, my save games getting crashed by random updates. Yeah. Then again, I've also taken to playing other games, and not yet fairly new ones, so happy about that for the time being. Because, hey, at some point I'll probably play some game in which my save file will get absolutely wrecked. I think I need to kill these guys. Luckily, I am a nice power level. These are fairly easily dispatched. I think the main problem is going to be to find them. Where are they? I need to kill specifically the War Singers or something like that. Yeah, let's try anyways. I'm going to try. Usually the tooltip that they have will give some indication of whether they are part of a quest, which is quite handy sometimes. So yes, this one was not. according to this, it should be more down here. I'll deal with you. Yay! Finished. There is one. So I'd have to go through these. Yay. That's two. Gonna be three. And four, apparently. One more. Can we find you somewhere close by? There we are. Sometimes these whites, they just do not want to die. Rid of the loot. Oh, that's a lot of loot I've got. Oh, I will sort that out at some point. And as long as it's not too big, I have not a problem with those. I mean, as long as my loot is not overflowing my bags. Yay. Hi, Mr. Tarkrip, otherwise known as some sort of orc. Okay, didn't even know that was there. You find something new every day.
There is a gaunt lord here.
These sigils bear the mark of Ivar the Bloodhound. He is a powerful lord of the Gaunt Men, and a dangerous and vile creature. It is he who is behind the corruption of the Red Swamp. Why should a creature such as Ivar travel so far from Angmar? Power, perhaps. But what drew him here? Nope, not useful.
I have a task for you.
This land was the site of many battles in the past. Some say the swamp takes its names from the blood of the fallen men that stains the earth red. But my knowledge of the swamp's history is limited. I do know of a man named Arik, a wise man of the Agline, though only by reputation. He is a stone speaker, a scholar who studies the stones and collects knowledge from their markings. Arik knows much of the local lore. Travel to him and ask for his help. He currently dwells south of here, beyond Talath Gone, down in Hollow. He may provide us with the knowledge we seek. Okay, so at least we figured out who the leader of these whites are, but we still don't know. I love these glitches where my system simply can't update itself fast enough to accommodate for my reaction speed, and then just waits for it, and then it looks like I'm just sitting inside of the horse. Anyways, so we found the leader of these whites, but we don't know yet why he has come here. And the why is often as important as the fact that he is. Oh, way down south. And I will be honest and say that oftentimes action is better than simply, I say simply, but seldom is it actually simple. But what I mean is gathering information to know how and why and where, and sometimes is really good, and sometimes it just doesn't matter. And it is very hard to know and understand the difference. Often enough, we make decisions based on what we know and what we can see. And sometimes it's the right decision and sometimes it's not. Like sometimes you see a great threat looming and you have to deal with it directly. And then you, a little later down the line, you find out that the threat you were facing was just the start of it. And then for such cases, it's sometimes more important to find out why the threat was there in the first place.
How can I be of service?
I know much about these lands, yes. Do you know from whence my knowledge stems? The dead hold secrets, great secrets, terrible secrets. Secrets they clutch to their chest like fire on a winter's day. Memories keep their hearts warm, you see. No, perhaps you do not see, but you shall. Oh yes, I believe you shall.
Stay a moment.
You can learn many things from the dead, but there is one troublesome shade called Emmeline that resists all attempts at communication. Perhaps you may succeed where I have not. Emmeline is difficult. He is bound by pride and deems the living beneath contempt. If you can prove yourself to him, this might grant you enough status in his eyes that he will lend you aid. Beware when you speak to him. He will try and win your trust with pleasant words, then send you off to your doom. You will find him at the ruins of Osthire. Here we go. Talk to the shade. Thou drawest breath, and yet thou dost wish to speak with me? Thou art not like the man Eric. He is stone-wise and knows the secrets of this land. But even he I despise for his warm flesh and bright-eyed stare. Wisdom will be thine if thou art proven worthy. Dost thou dare to face my warriors? If thou art the victor, then I shall help thee upon thy quest. Fail, and thou shalt not see the light of another day. So this shade is from a long time ago, where this sort of speech was still normal. Oh. Currently, fight his soldiers. Luckily for us, that is absolutely not a problem. Thou art alive still to draw breath, though ragged and coarse it be. Rest thyself and hearken unto me. Terrible deeds I have done in the name of the kings of old. While evil corrupted this land, my men and I stood by and did nothing, ignoring our charge. Now the Red Maid serves Angmar, something we swore to prevent. Eowyn Ben Adar cursed us to live as half-dead. Such was our failure. Dost thou understand? I will help thee in order to break my curse, but thou must do more to secure my aid. Now, this brings me back to something that we might touch upon later, and that is down in Rohan, just beyond Helm's Deep. No, not Helm's Deep, sorry, beyond Edoras. There is this place where there are the paths of the dead. And the paths of the dead are a people that was once sown to the kings of Gondor, I believe, but who forsook their oaths when they were called upon. And as oath breakers, they were cursed with undead. And only a true descendant of kings could break that curse. So when Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli took that path as a quick way to get from Rohan to Gondor by a different means, they had to cross the paths of the dead and possibly gain the allegiance of the Oathbreakers. This land was corrupted by the war which raged here. Much blood spilled into the springs of the Lady until all became red, and the springs became the swamp. The Lady, whose name is not remembered, became the Red Maid, a creature lost and corrupt. Ivar the Bloodhand came not long ago and awakened her again and claimed power over her. Now Ivar is a greater threat than ever he was. Thou must strike against him to restore the balance betwixt man and nature. Until the Red Maid be redeemed or destroyed, my brethren and I are doomed to this wretched state. The west is where thou must travel to destroy the White Lord Rudra and his soldier. They serve the Blood Hand and must be destroyed. So, basically, the White Lord that we've been seeking has gained tremendous power by corrupting this Red Maid, and as far as I can tell, the only way to break his power is to sever his connection to the land, and to start with that we must deal with his lieutenants first. See if we can put quick. Yay! Skip here. So we won't have to fight all through these ruins. Go. Hello, my friend. Would you be so kind as to return to the dead? Yay! Easy clap. It looks like I might not take the same cut back. We'll just have to go the long way around. And hope we won't run into too much opposition. And it seems easy enough. Yay! I hope you're not forgetting the time, Bill. Because I think your stream time might come up soon, if I'm looking. Ah, nice! Love that. Hey, you. Go away. You're welcome, Biz. Gotta stick out for each other and our friends, I suppose. I think. My English sometimes, my brain races so far ahead of me sometimes that I just stumble over my words. Anyways. Thou art returned from thy battle, and the White Lord is no more. Then I shall speak of the past and what is to come. Ancient Arnold did long ago, then sundered it was. 3 nations arose, Esteldín, Cardolan, and Rudar. But Arna's light was dim, and the hearts of men are so easily tempted to dark deeds. Rudar turned against us, the kingdom of Esteldín, for there our Dunedain brethren had been overthrown by an evil chieftain of the hillmen in the service of Angmar. The warning had come much too late. For the maiden. For us. The wars corrupted this land. Mine does that tomb? What does that mean, Biz? The wars corrupted this land, drowning it in the blood of innocence. The lady drowned as well, choking on death and evil while we did nothing to save her. Twice we failed our duty, and 7 times cursed were we by the one the elves called Iarvain Benadal. When the lady became the Red Maid, she brought further ruin to her own home. to the land and to the beasts. She was terrible, and we dared not face her. When there was no more living blood to spill, she slept, until Ivar awakened her once more. That is my sad tale. Now go, return to thy master and speak to him of the secret past. Remember our fate, champion, and do not fail in thy duty. Just a simple typo. It happens. To go back more. I really should get those fast travel points up. It might make things so much easier sometimes. Oh well. Where am I going? I think that's it. By the way, if you see me dismissing those kinds of pop-ups, that's because those are basically gameplay things that I think are relatively irrelevant. Yeah, irrelevant to the story I'm trying to tell. So that's why I tend not to explain that very much or at all, because I think that this playthrough is not about explaining the gameplay as much as it is about exploring the lore itself. Almost there. Okay. So maybe now Radagast can help us sort out the clues that we've now been given.
Much has happened.
Yes, it is a terrible fate for anyone, and this Ivar is a fearsome foe. I pray those youths are found safe and sound. But you do not know. Two bold Eglon youths set out to save Ostguruth. They are ignorant of the dangers they face and must be turned from their quest. Pride and honor compel them, but only death awaits.
I have a tale to tell you.
Two young and headstrong youths of the Eglon, Elsa and Eriak, entered Agamal with a small company. They sought to find the power behind the threat to their people. But if the Gaunt Lord Ivar has come to Agamar, I fear they face a power they cannot overcome. They need your help. The Red Swamp is divided into two regions. The southern marshes, Haragmar, you know. The Elsa and Eriak entered Agamar, the northern marshes, through the Red Pass. It is a passage known only to the Eglon and myself. I will accompany you, for the shadow that has come to Agamar is too powerful for you to deal with alone. There is no telling what evil awaits us in the swamp. Return to me when you are prepared to leave.
Are you prepared to leave?
Yes, let's do that immediately.
The Gaunt Lord Ivar spreads corruption through Agamor, the Red Swamp, raising a host of evil to do the bidding of Angmar.
I really like that narrative voice sometimes. It gives you a real sense of being sucked into the story. We must go west to the Eggland encampment. Elsa and Eriak will be waiting, and I can better attend to the corruption from there. The power which continues to corrupt this swamp is terrible, but we may not have to face it alone. The beasts tell me that there are shades of Emmeline's kind which dwell here and may be convinced to aid the Eggland. I do not know why they do not remain with their own kind, but they at least have not brought harm to the Eggland. Now, we must hurry. The very trees scream in pain. I must see what I can do to help them as quickly as possible. Follow me, though I cannot promise aid, for I fear I will need all my strength to face Ivar the Bloodhound. You gotta go, Biz. Thank you for the have fun. You have fun in your own stream as well. Goodbye and enjoy. Ooh. Now, as I've explained, I think last episode is that Radagast was the master of beasts. He was able to talk to any kind of animal, and in that way, find out many things that others like stop. Sorry. So annoying. You have to escort something and they just throw everything in range. Anyway, as I was saying, because Radagast was able to talk to the animals of the land, he was better able to find out about the enemy's movements when they were done in secret. Because great armies could be seen quickly, but little companies like the Fellowship, for example, which relied on stealth, be hard to find. But animals are everywhere, like rabbits and foxes and birds and bees. It's the little ones that we often forget about, and therefore easy to miss. What are we targeting? Apparently these. At least we are powerful enough to deal with them fairly quickly. And I'm sure part of that is Radagast's help. And part of that is simply, well, we are supposed to be a hero of some kind. Oh. Usually when it lags that much, it means I'm leveling up. I actually will take that quest. Over there. I think if at some point we run into the issue of being underleveled again, I will actually go to back to this to even dim, because that is where Amunas is at, and I think I can tell a lot about that place. But we'll see. Interesting. Nevin orders me to hold my post, and I must obey. He is our commander. I am under his charge, as are my men. Honor binds us, even greater than the curse of Iawain Ben-Adar. I will not forsake my commander, though he is so very changed. I cannot disobey his orders while he remains. If thou wish us to fight, thou must entreat with Nevin. His seat is to the north. Let's see. What? I think it's through that opening over there. Over there. Hard to say. Luckily, these tree creatures are not that hard to defeat. Maybe I should tell you something about these tree creatures, because we have encountered them before, but we have not. I cannot go there, okay? Talked about them. So those tree creatures are part of a race called the Ents. However, in times long past, let's just rewind and go back to the beginning of time, when the elves were still... I am so annoyed by the construction going on outside. I am sorry about that. Anyways, let me try to focus. So when the elves were still not yet awake to roam the lands, Aule the smith yearned for life and created the dwarf. However, the dwarves were smiths like Aule and needed fuel to fire their forges. So his wife, Yavanna, who loved all things nature and the trees most of all, was very dismayed, and she created the Ents as protectors of the trees. Now, there are two different kinds of Ents. Those like Fangorn or Treebeard, who have gained full sentience, and those who are sort of awake but not fully awake yet. And in the books they are called Huorns, which are trees who have been awakened by the evils that have been done to them. So anger is greater than their will and their intelligence. Treebeard tells us that these are hard to control, and we can see from the trees that we've defeated here that those were kinds of Huorns, corrupted by the land, and without any Ents to shepherd them, they have run amok. Let's quickly deal with this Nevin guy. Let's away from his soldiers. He's gone. Return to the shade. A wight, a fell creature of Angmar. How could I have not seen this? So long have I lingered in this swamp, cursed by Eowyn Ben Ada to bring the salvation or the destruction of the Red Maid, she who dwells within Garth Agawen, a power now under the influence of the god. I was blind to what Nevin had become. Now I shall make amends. Now we shall make our battle and strive to fulfill our curse. Yay! Things to help us. That is a very, very good thing indeed. Just like the Oathbreakers, these will help us tremendously in weeding out this corruption. Oh, and there's Radagast. I'm not expecting him then. But that is a welcome sight indeed. There we go. We have found the eggline we were looking for. Oh. Let's see if I can remember to read out these texts in-game after this. We were beaten. There is no way to hide this. This Ivar commands the water, the whites, the forest itself. He cannot be beaten by my meager force, and I fear there is something far more terrible within the ruins to the north. I know there is little time before a great evil spills forth from Garth Agawin. Our only hope is Radagast. Only he will be able to stop this Ivar. Please, go north to the gate of Garth Agawin with him. Stop the Gauntlord Ivar. Hurry now! The Gauntlord Ivar is not far from here, near the gates of Garth Agawin to the north. He may not reveal himself immediately, so we may need to draw him forth. The way ahead will be difficult, but do not give up hope. We shall triumph this day if we do not lose heart. Get rid of a few of those creeping hands. Oh, even more? Okay. Good. They're already dead, but still they have a death wish. So be it. I forgot again. Methodon Louis. Nature is my ally. Enough of this. I shall waste my time with you no more. The Red Maid... Oh, this is going way too quickly. I'm sorry. That creature commands great power, but against a heart full of hope and trust in one's allies, such power means nothing. Thank you for your help here, my friend. We have done well this day. Either spreading corruption is stayed, at least for the moment. I must return now to the Eggline encampment and help end this evil forever. There is more that you ought to do here if you are willing, but we will not speak of such matters now.
I came too late to Bree, and too early to Weathertop, where beyond my aid, the Witch King and his minions attacked Frodo, wounding him with a Morgul blade. Thankfully, Aragorn was there to save him.
Greetings.
Thank you again for your aid. You should speak now with Radagast the Brown. He is waiting for you within the tower here in the camp. Oh, look at that little frog. And the rabbit resting. Oh, they are so cute. And the squirrel and the fox. Yes, yes, this shall do nicely. I shall remain here and help the Eggline fight against Ivar. I cannot allow innocent creatures to be used for such evil purposes. Let's see if we have some items here that might be useful to us. This is decent. Not really. This is actually pretty good. No, that is the best one.
I must bid you farewell for now.
Immediately equip it. But we'll equip it the right way around. Go. The Eggline and our Arthedain allies were able to stop Ivar's forces, at least for the time being. I am needed elsewhere and must bid you farewell for now. Now go, for Elsa wishes to speak to you again. And those are all side quests, so we won't do them for the time being.
Greetings.
You have done much to help us keep this foothold in Agamar. Thank you. If we are to hold this position, we need supplies. Bring this letter to Frederick and this back to my sister Hannah to let her know I still live. She is alone now, and I worry for her. To the south is a passage back to Harakmar, the southern reaches of the Red Swamp. From there, go west and you will find your way back to Ostgrove. Hurry back and inform my people that all is well, for the moment. So, let's do as she says. Take this path south. Quickly find our way back to Ostgrove. skipping around the northern edges of the southern swamp. This Hannah and this is Hannah. My sister as well? I am very pleased
I
to
don't
hear
know
this.
anything, I'm sure.
What is it you bring me? Thank you so much for bringing this to me. I fear for my sister, for the swamp is a threatening place, full of terrors, but I know that what she does is for the good of the Eggline. I suppose you should take Elsa's letter to Frederick. Okie dokie. Sir Frederick the Elder.
What do you need?
Crossing the swamp is not easy. You have shown remarkable courage. Ah, yes. Elsa confirms as much in her letter to me. She speaks quite highly of you. I will begin preparing a shipment of supplies for Elsa and Aria.
Would you do something for me?
I received a message from a man. Perhaps you know of him. He is a ranger by the name of Kandai. The details are vague, but it seems of great importance that you talk to him. I believe it concerns the enemy's movements in the North Down. He is staying at the camp northwest of Weathertop. Travel west to the Forsaken Inn, then go north until you reach his campsite. Yes, I believe we've been there. And this is a new book we are opening up here. Like, these quests, these main quests, are divided into volumes, books, and chapters, which is a very nice way of referencing the books themselves, I think.
What do you want?
Let's go straight to the encampment we need to go to. And while we travel there, let me take a quick break because I need I need a quick bathroom break. Be right back. And we're back. As soon as, yes, there we go. We are here at the Camp Cumdive again. He helped us figure out what was happening on Weathertop before, and we were sent back to him. So let's continue.
What can I do for you?
Esteldín sends word that you are to go there and meet with Halbarad. Please hurry, for the orc fires burn hot and strong, and each moment we waste is another opportunity for the enemy. Now, this is very interesting because Esteldín is the word or the name that was given to Aragorn in Rivendell, and Halbarad is one of the sons of Elrond. So, yeah, we are getting some very important information here, I think. Let's hope we can get there easily without much of a detour, because I don't think we can go there. Have to go... Oh! Ouch! The long way around. Are we, and where do we need to go? Literally no idea where we need to go. So I'll just follow the lay of the land and hope we eventually get a break in these hills, or we can turn north. But by the looks of it, no such luck here. So back we go. Go there. So have to follow this way. Ah. Exploring can be both very interesting and boring at the same time, because sometimes, as much as you would like to find the path straight away, you just have to double back. Because, as we can see, this road has been blocked by landfall. So, we will have to find another way. And I think there might be a break in these rocks over here, which we can use to move north. Now the big question is, do we turn further north here, through this cleft, or do we go around? I think we're gonna try to go through the cleft. Although this looks very much like an orc encampment. Well, I'm just gonna make a run for it. What these orcs think they won. Speed up a little bit. And go straight past them. Although I'm not sure whether that's gonna help. But, as always, there's only one way to find out. And that is just by going there. I think, indeed, cannot go up there. So I will have to go around. Let's take on these supplies here. Back again. Sometimes, as I said, you just need to listen to your instinct. And my instinct in this case was right. But I should not go through that cleft. Maybe I was just simply overzealous and did not read correctly, because I think I might have needed to have taken just the horse. But I don't know. It's but at least we found a way up. And over. I don't like the look of that. That's a very high level orc. Over the... I should have known. Esteldín is not the name of Aragorn. It's the name of a town. I've already been there. At some point when I was doing some side quests. And I actually have a fast travel point there. So... could have gotten there so much quicker. Oh well. So let's find Halbarad. And I think he's holed up in this building just over here.
How can I be of service?
Word has spread about the help you have given the rangers to the south. Here in the northern lands, we need your help now more than ever.
Might I take a moment of your time?
While the eyes of Esteldín have been turned to the east, news from west and south tells me that the enemy is moving on many fronts. I fear that the strength of Esteldín is nearly spent, and alone we cannot face this greater threat. A council of the free peoples of the North Downs must be called. Yet before I do so, I need more knowledge of this threat. I need to know if Fornost, once the capital of honor of old, has fallen under the sway of Angmar once more. If the enemy has taken and fortified the ruins of Fornost, we are in the gravest of dangers. Travel to Mincham, a ranger who camps on the fields of Fornost to the west, and ask for his aid. And this time, let us see exactly where we need to go. Fornost, which is right over there, so we can at least take one of the travel points and hire a horse to take us closer.
Greetings.
Which one is it? I'm on right. Okay. Thank you. Had I known I would have needed to take this long of a ride here, I probably would have taken my break right here and not earlier. Oh well, live and learn, live and learn. So maybe this is a bit of a good time to tell you about why I thought Esteldín was referring to Aragorn. Because Aragorn was named Estel while he was born in Rivendell, which means hope. For years untold, the kingdom to the north, Arnor, had been in disrepair, or rather actually had fallen, and Aragorn was the last line of descendants from the kings there. In fact, Aragorn is the last of the line of Isildur, who some of you may know as the last king of Gondor. In the last alliance, in the war of the first War of the Ring, one might say, yeah, the first War of the Ring, Elendil, the father of Isildur, with the alliance of elves, made war upon Sauron and Mordor. But in that battle, Elendil was slain, and his son Isildur took over. Isildur cut the ring from Sauron's finger, and unfortunately, instead of destroying it, he took it for himself. And I'll show this on the map. So let me show the right part. From Mordor, he traveled north along the river Anduin towards Arnor, where the capital of that realm was. But over here in the Gladden Fields, they were ambushed, and Isildur perished. And that's how the kingdoms of the West were no longer. Or at least that's where their long decline started. Oh, just so we're clear here, And for those of you who might be watching this on YouTube, my knowledge of this is incomplete and sometimes a little hazy. So if you find something that I remember wrong, just leave a comment and I'll try and rectify that in the next streaming episode.
I'm sorry. Did you need something?
Damn this Rabbi. The enemy retaking Fornost of all? From what I have seen here, I believe it most likely that they have. From this lonely camp, I have seen the spectres of the Oathbreakers stir, and fell spirits from Angmar take shape upon the fields. I have also seen orcs spilling out from the gates of Fornost. So yes, the enemy has indeed taken Fornost once more. What cannot be told is the strength of the enemy within the ruined city. And for that, I shall need your help.
Will you hear my sorrows?
I cannot tell you the strength of the forces of Angmar within Fornost, for I did not see them approach. The orcs and wargs that guard the gates must have entered Fornost from the north. I fear the only way to know the true strength of the enemy within Fornost is to test the defenses erected at its gates by the orcs. I would do this myself, but my old injury prevents me from doing so. If you are willing, go to the Norbury gates north of here and slay what orcs and wargs you find. After you've done so, bring me a report of what you find. Okay, so we have to go to this area and see how great the strength of the enemy is there. And possibly take a few down with us while we're there. Seems like the sensible thing to do. For a moment there, I thought this said Daddy Bear, weirdly enough. But I am glad to see that it is not in fact Daddy Bear, but Deadly Bear. That would have been weird. Almost there. And we can see that while these fortifications are the ruins of the old city, these palisades and tree trunks, basically, marred with the red war paint of the orcs, really do signify that this place has been inhabited by the orcs. So this is fairly easy because, as you can see, we are quite over leveled for this particular part. allow us to get through this quickly. A few quick supplies while we're at it. To the other encampment. That's one of the walks real quick. Yay! The last of them. Fortunately, this orc really wants to die, so he's standing in our way. And now we return. Even though we completely decimated one of the camps, you can see a few more. So we can say for sure that these orcs are here in great numbers. Walking down the road. And I hope you'll please excuse my absolutely atrocious singing, but sometimes I just can't help myself. How much room do I still have? A little bit. Useful there. Hello there, we are back.
I'm sorry. Did you need something?
You are truly of stout heart to face such beasts. You have my gratitude. I only wish I could have done this myself instead of sending you in my stead. But time and injury prevent me from wielding a sword, let alone draw a bow. From what you tell me, Angmar did not merely send a token force to Fornost. Nay, it appears they sent an army. Fornost has fallen once more to Angmar.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Quick now! You must return to Halbarad in Esteldín and tell him what you have learned here. Angmar has taken Fornost once more. From such a fortified spot, Angmar could dominate all of the north. But there are even worse things to worry about. Tales tell of a great evil which inhabits the collapsed and ruined halls of Fornost. This evil could be called to serve Angmar. Go to Esteldín and tell Halbarad all that you have learned here. Let's see if we can take this. Unfortunately, that is a mount used for other travels. And my quick travel is still on cooldown. So we'll have to take the long way. To the travel point atop this hill over here. Over there we are.
Greetings.
And while we travel here, let me go into the store and see if I can do something about that cooldown time. If the game wants to be so kind, at least. Because I know there's something that will reduce that time, as well as being able to register more of these fast travel points. So... let's see... what are these things called? Will be an account somewhere. No, it was in here somewhere. The question is, where? Okay. So hard to find. Oh well, we'll do that another time. Waiting, waiting while we ride a horse. Waiting, waiting. Almost there. Time to get the rest done ourselves. And immediately, I think upon entrance, I can spot what the thing is called that we're looking for. Milestones. So we'll open up the store real quickly. Search for milestones. And both. And also add a third one so we can get more fast travel points. Ooh, so much lag there. Oh, wait a second while the game registers what we've just done. There we go. Unfortunately, it does not reset our cooldown just yet. But that's okay. We'll have to do it the normal way then. Halbarad. Here we go.
Greetings.
I suppose we can be thankful that we are no longer as ignorant of the enemy's plans as once we were. Yet the question of how we will face this threat looms over us all. The peoples of the North Downs must be called together for a council to deal with this threat. There is much to do, and much I will ask of you in the days ahead, if you are of willing spirits. Ooh, that's a lot of different chapters. Let's just start with
Stay a
chapter
moment.
4. We will need the might of the dwarves of Othrikar if we are to face the threat of Angmar. The dwarves there are good longbeards, but have long been put to task by the Dour Hands. When the Dour Hands showed their true loyalties, the Longbeards drove them out of Othrikar. Yet they are still hard pressed by the Dour Hands, and only recently has one of Durin's folk from Erebor, Dori, come to aid them. It will not be easy to convince them to lend their strength to the council, but you must try. Travel to Othrikar and speak with Dori. If you cannot find Dori for some reason, speak to a dwarf named Hana. It is he who leads the Longbeards of Othrikar. Now, while we're here, we might as well accept the next quests and the next chapters, because it might be easier to just travel to them rather than having to travel back here every time.
Might I take a moment of your time?
To the south of Esteldín there stands a small refuge of the elves. Many long years have the elves dwelt there. However, in recent days, most of the elves left the glade. What is worse, I have heard that those few that remained were slain by stone trolls from the north. It is an irony that Gildor Inglorion, an elf lord of Rivendell, was coming to give word of the enemy's movements, but arrived too late to save those who remained. He should be called to the council, but I fear that he will be too consumed by the desire to protect both the glade and its people from their rage. It will be your task to go to Lin-Gilead and convince Gildor to come to the council. And the final one,
Stay a
according
moment.
to men, of all those that have suffered in the North Downs, it is perhaps the people of Trestlebridge who have suffered the most. They have stood firm against all orc attacks, but their own numbers are dwindling. In fact, the mayor of the town, Lovell Boskins, was recently slain, and his daughter Nellie now leads the people there. I would ask you to go to Trestlebridge and speak with Nellie. We will need her leadership at the council. I will give you a word of warning. Although her people have the most to gain from coming, Nellie will be the hardest to convince. The constant attacks will block all thoughts of anything but dealing with the immediate threat. So I would really like to do these in order, but considering that the game has given us the option to do them out of order, I think if that is presented to us in a good way, we will take it. But I think it's dwarves, elves, men, so they're not really that far apart. Well, they are quite far apart actually, so I will actually do them in order. So let's go to the dwarves in the north first. And more traveling we shall do. At least it's not that far this time. Oh. There's a hungry bear there. And a hawk. Some wildcats. Oh. One might actually say that this part of the world is fairly unkempt, untamed, I would say. Even though we can plainly see these roads before us, so these places are quite well traveled. But it seems that aside from the roads, not much of civilization has crept upon the place. Oh, there you are.
Greetings.
Nice. Yeah? Oh, there we are. Anna. So, no Dory.
What do you need?
You seek Dory? Alas, Dory has been captured by the Dower Hands. An envoy of the traitors just left and said that if we do not turn over the mines to them, Dory would be killed.
Will you stay and speak with me a moment?
A council of the free peoples? How could we give thought to a council with Dory gone? It was only with Dory's arrival and the horde of gems he brought that hope began to creep back into our hearts. But Dory has been captured, the gems lost, and hope is stolen away. If those men, those rangers, wish to help the help of the dwarves of Othrikar, then Dory must be free. You, if you are the ranger's envoy, must do this if you desire our presence at this council. Dory is likely being held in the Dower Hands camp to the west of Othrikar. Free Dory and escort him to safety. Once he is free, we will make our decision regarding this council of yours. Now, it did say that we should be mindful of the fact that this is considered a group quest or a fellowship quest. And so this is going to be quite hard to complete solo, but I do believe that we will be able to do it. And so even though... Oh, there we go. Ouch, 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 ouch. Luckily, this game takes a very different approach to falling damage. Which way should I go? Be around here. Should it be up there? I think I need to be up there. No shortcuts this time. At any rate, this game is very, very friendly to solo play. Even though these are group quests and therefore quite hard for solo players, it's still very much doable. supplies. Always love a few supplies. Even if we don't make use of most of them, still nice to have. Hey, Dory.
What do you want?
Well, it's about time. Those dour hands took the hordes of gems I brought. We've got to get them back. Othrakar is depending on them. Come on now, before the dour hands get suspicious. Deep in the camp, you say? Oh dear. That's why she'll run. This is what I mean with the game is very easy on solo players. Like, normally if you see up here, my health or morale, as this game calls it, is much lower than it is now. But because we are in a difficult area, or supposed to be in a difficult area, the game buffs us greatly, allowing us to complete this game easily. Apparently that is not for us. What? Not you! Sneeze time! Okay. We've got the gems, so let's get out of here. Come on, Dory. I know you can move faster than that. Now I also know why I need to stay close to him. Because if I move too far ahead, or too far out of the way, the buff he has on me falls off. There we go. Almost got 3. Just this small encampment to do. And I think this is it. Oh, no. Oh well. Still not. Well, that should teach me to get ahead of myself. Okay. Now we can go back to Africa. Have a chat with Hannah. Look at this. Again, full of bears. And we don't see that every day. Very interesting. Clippity, 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 clippity. There we are, Anna.
Well met!
You have done a great thing for the dwarves of Africa this day. Dory arrived not long before you and is resting inside. They told us of your valiant rescue. We are at your service. Interesting. Not quite as much.
Might you lend me an ear?
Before he retired, I told Dory of your message about this Council of Esteldín. He recommended that we should go, and I agree with him. The dwarfs shall lend their might to this council and free all of the North Downs from the clutches of the enemy. Go now and tell the rangers we shall come. Yay!
How can I be of service?
Let's go to Maluinen, where the elves are located. Down there, so it's a bit of a ride. But of course, it could be worse. You can see my graphics card isn't exactly the newest, so my render distance is actually quite low, and this is to make sure that my computer is able to run this kind of game. Although I think I might be able to add a little bit higher actually. This is really low. Let me see if I can find it. If that has any effect on the game. Doesn't really look like it. So here we are at the Enclave of the Elves. Go inside here. Gildor Inglorion. Now, I remember that name from somewhere. It's kind of odd, because I remember that name from the elves who were moving to the west and who encountered Frodo upon the roads in the Shire. I am going to have to make a note of this, because I would really like to find out if I remember correctly. And I will get back to you on that one. For now,
How can I be
let's
of
just
service?
continue. Greetings. I wish I could extend to you a warmer welcome, but these are dark times for the elves. The shadow of the enemy has grown long, longer than perhaps any had thought, and the elves of Lin-Gilead have paid the price for our complacency.
Mind my words, traveller.
The Council of Esteldín. I wish that I could simply commit to such an endeavor, but it is not so simple. Many of my people are nearly overcome with grief and anger at what happened here, and the threats against Lin-Gilead are not yet dealt with. Our scouts tell me that the orcs in Nan Wakran are planning to move against us soon. The scouts say that these orcs are being led by a great Uruk of Angmar, named Drukord, who camps in the deepest parts of Nan Wakran. Perhaps if this Uruk was slain, Lin-Gilead would be protected enough for me to come to your council. It is a heavy burden, but I would task you with this if you remain stout of heart. The Uruk is a mighty foe, and so you should not attempt to confront him on your own. If you must, then use the strength of this Elfstone to find the strength to prevail from deep within yourself. Well, and there we find one of the ways that this game allows you to do solo content or group content while solo. And I absolutely love the fact that, let's see where we need to go. I think I need to go here. I really love it that they have actually okay. Apparently there's some kind of quest here. I will pick it up. Even though it's a repeatable quest. So we'll see if we will use it. End up doing it. But it's quite likely that we might be just in our travels here. Just kill enough of these. Do the quest while we move. Anyways, as I was saying, I really like the fact that this game incorporates doing solo, again, fellowship quests or group quests on your own, and make that part of the story somehow. Boards are quite powerful, so we do have to be careful a little bit. Luckily, so are we. Let's move you away from our taskbar for the time being. Easy peasy. Probably have to get up there somehow. I think we might need to go this way. Or go through the valley, I think. And then right up there. Is that the right way? I think so. Ah. Let's use it. Indeed, we are now much more powerful than we would have been on our own. So yes for that. Go here. Where do we need to go? Up there. Okay. Almost there. I think I'm going to leave these repeatable quests because they are not really something I would like to spend my time on in a live stream. So I'll simply make them good. Getting rid of this guy. Goodbye. And then quickly making my way back. I will cancel these. We'll definitely not be doing them. And quickly make our way back to Gildor and Glorion. Ignore all the orcs that are in our way. Because we definitely do not care about them whatsoever. There are way too many for us to kill anyway. So, and especially since we've killed their leader, they will probably now be much more disorganized and much less of a threat than they otherwise would have been. And thus our mission here is accomplished. Taking the time to kill more of them will only result in our wasting our time. Get away from me! Dang it! Don't be so nasty. There we go. Almost there. And...
What can I do for you?
Ah, you've done it! We heard the wails of the orcs from here. You have seen to the safety of Lingilia, and for this you have my thanks.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
With the Uruk Drukord slain, the threat of the orcs is lessened, and I am free to come to the Council of Esteldín. You should bring word to Halbarad that we shall attend him, and that we will arrive soon. Your brave deeds may yet prove a strong foundation for our defences. Let's go and find our stable master and have a quick
May
run
Guvanen.
to Esteldín, and from there to Trestlebridge or Trestlebridge? Trestlebridge. And once we get there, we will see how the town got its name. How is my infantry doing? Still some room. Okay, good, good, good. Let's see if this will do anything about that render distance. I must say I haven't really done much with all these settings, but might as well do it now. I don't think I can do much more than this, to be honest. Maybe this will help a little bit.
Greetings.
See, trestle bridge. We're in for a long, long ride this time. So, I think this is actually a good time to take a small break, because I do have a few real life things to attend to. So, I'll see you in a few minutes. Be right back. And we're back. And as soon as OBS loads in the game, we'll see there why this town is called Trestlebridge. As you can see, we are moving across a very, very long span. Ooh! Oh, frightened myself there. And that span is crossed by a long trestle bridge. Okay. Someone outside was angry and honking their horn. I hope that didn't interrupt you much. Now, let's find this mayor, Nelly. Let's see what we can do for her in order for her to come to the council.
What do you need?
A council of Esteldín? Have you taken leave of your senses, High Elf? Are you unaware of the dangers facing this town? The constant attacks we must endure? These men in the east, if they truly cared about the threats facing Trestlebridge, they would help us here with these orcs. We wouldn't have had to suffer as we have. We lost all those dear to us. No, I shall not come to this council, nor anything else, and I shall not be convinced otherwise. Now, if you have no other business, leave me to see to the defense of this town. Oh dear. She just flat out refuses. Well, that's not good. Now let's return quickly to Esteldín and tell Halbarad what is going on. And lucky for us, this time we can do it via fast travel. Halbarad, my dear, what have you to say?
Greetings.
About the dwarves. These are good tidings. With the dwarves aiding us, our chances of turning the tide against Angmar are that much greater. You have done very well this day. Very well indeed. Of the elves.
How can I be of service?
The message you bear is joyous, twice over. The Uruk Drukord is dead, and the elves have agreed to come to the council. You have done very well, for the might of the elves shall improve our lot all the more. You have my thanks for this. And now the unfortunate news of the men of Trestlebridge.
How can I be of service?
Good, you've returned. It does not surprise me that Nelly refused the call to the council, but that does not matter now. Word has arrived here that a large contingent of orcs is moving on Trestlebridge. The people there are a strong folk, but I fear they are no match for these orcs and the chieftain who leads them. We must go to their aid.
Might I take a moment of your time?
In the past, the orcs that have attacked have been of the Tarkrip tribe. The bloodlust of that tribe usually causes them to throw themselves heedlessly into the battle without forethought. The orcs that now move on Trestlebridge appear to be of the more powerful Ongbur's tribe. These warriors are stronger and more skilled. The townsfolk will not be able to stop them. I would send a party of my men to aid them, but all my kin are dealing with matters in the east. You and I may reach them in time. However. You have done much already, but I would ask for your help in this battle. Gather what warriors you can and return to me. But make haste. Trestlebridge does not have much time.
We must not delay.
Let's go. Let's see if
The
this
little
might
town of
help.
Trestlebridge is all that stands between the
Nelly
Orcs of Angmar and
rethink.
Breland to the south. Halbarad, Ranger of the North, gathers heroes to help defend Trestlebridge from the approaching onslaught.
The orcs are nearly upon us, upon the town. Come with me quickly. We must convince Miss Boskins of the threat that is nearly upon her. Oh dear. She does not want to be reasoned with. We can move faster if we are mounted. We must guard the bridge and make sure that both Halbarad and Nelly survive. I don't think that should be too hard to do. We go. Please be so kind as to analyze yourself. Thank you. Yeah, coming, Will. Ooh, a battle lord? Let's do with this not move. I don't think we can properly stand against this. And even as I speak, we've already dealt with him. There we go. Is this enough? we have done well this day. I am indebted to you as well for your aid as I... Sorry, let's redo that. We have done well this day. I am indebted to you as well for your aid, as I fear the battle would have turned against the free peoples had you not been here. I must leave now, and I hope it is not too much to ask of you to stay behind. I would ask that you ensure that Trestlebridge remains safe through the night, then return to me in Esteldín. This was a great victory, my friend. A great victory indeed.
Elrond has healed Frodo of his Morgul wound, and now the time has come to decide the fate of the One Ring. I can see no other path than that which leads to Mount Doom. Who then shall defend Eriador against the shadow of Angmar?
It seems that while we were distracted here in the north, that Aragorn and Frodo have, for the time being, reached Rivendell. Even though Frodo was badly wounded atop Weathertop, and in fact he was wounded with a Morgul blade, which had the nasty side effect that it turned the ones it hurt, it wounded, into a wraith themselves. So, if we read The Lord of the Rings, we see that by the time Frodo reaches Rivendell, he has mostly slipped into the Shadow Realm himself. So, it is with great effort that Elrond has healed him, and it speaks greatly towards his healing power that he is able to do so. And in fact, we, with the character that we have, should not be at all surprised by that, for we were struck down by the blade of, or the mace of Sauron, and a Morgul blade. Wow, it's not been that long, Elaine. Just a couple of months. We have been struck down by a Morgul blade ourselves, and it took us many, many years to recover from that wound, and in the meantime, the world passed us by. So, it's really good to see that Master Elrond has not forsaken his duty to the free peoples and heals everyone.
Greetings.
I must apologize to you, for I fear my behavior towards you was nearly unforgivable. I see now that the constant orc attacks were nothing compared to what Angmar could bring to bear on this small town. You and the Ranger Halbarad have risked your lives to save my people. I am in your debt. Let's see, anything useful? Oh, that is fairly useful. That isn't, so I will grab that.
Would you do something for me?
And equip it immediately. The debt I owe you and the Rangers cannot be repaid easily, but I hope to make a start of it by answering Halbarad's call to the council. Whatever strength the men of Trestlebridge can lend to Halbarad's endeavor shall be his to command. Please, go tell Halbarad that I will come to this Esteldín as soon as I settle matters here. I am still responsible first to my people, but I see now that the free peoples of the North Downs must stand together if we are to remain free. Thank you, my friend. Let's do it real quick.
What do you need?
It is good to see you again. My thanks for your help in that battle. Without you and your companions, I would have surely fallen as would Trestlecbridge. It is also good to know that Nellie Boskins will come to the council. She is a fine and strong woman, and I will welcome her and her people's presence in the conflict ahead.
Could I speak with you a moment?
While I wait the arrival of those coming to the council, I must ask one final task of you. My chieftain Aragorn must be told of what has transpired here. I also would seek his counsel, as the position I find myself in is an unusual one. Aragorn has always been the one to lead, to organize and inspire. If only the matter he was seeing to was not much greater importance than he would be here. That cannot be helped, though. By now, Aragorn should have arrived at the refuge of Rivendell in the Trollshaws. It is a hard ride that awaits you, but word must be taken to Aragorn of these matters. Look for him in one of the guest rooms of Elrond's house. Oh, now that is in Rivendell, and that is actually quite a long ride from here. But I also have to attend to a few matters in real life that really need some attending to. And it's been nearly 3 hours, which is pretty decent for me, actually. So I think I will end it here, and I think I will make the journey to Rivendell on my own, and see you at the entrance. And yeah, I hope I'll be streaming a little bit again tomorrow, and I'll see you there. But for now, let's see if there's anyone online that I might want to read, and it's most likely gonna be Bizarro Girl, and yeah, I would say goodbye and see you next time.